Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and the bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bomb bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet waves o'er the land and of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you. Thank you, and please remain standing. It is my pleasure to introduce Trustee Ann Oakes, who will give tonight's invocation.
Today, prayers have been offered all over the nation. As we've gathered today, on this day, such a beautiful day for graduation, and as we've gathered for Commencement 2013, let us take time to pray. Father God, we adore you. You have shown such great love to us. You have caused us to be happy and to rejoice, and we say thank you. Jehovah Jireh, our provider, you have met every need, and your divine presence has guided our lives to this time in our season. I'm thoroughly convinced that you will never leave us and you will never forsake us. Why? There are plans that you have for us, plans to bring us to an expected end. Be a lamp unto our feet and a light unto our path. Bless us. Bless us this evening and the days to come. Fill our hearts with your love and teach us to love one another. God, we look to you, for you have proven yourself over and over again. You can do exceeding abundantly above all that I can ask or think. We pray in your name. Amen.
Thank you, Trustee Oakes. Please be seated. It is now my pleasure to introduce the chairman of the Muskegon Community College Board of Trustees, Dr. Donald Crandall.
On behalf of the Board of Trustees of Muskegon Community College, it is my pleasure to welcome everyone to this celebration where we honor and applaud the success of our talented and hardworking students. For over 85 years, MCC has been dedicated to graduating successful, civic-minded individuals who are prepared to respond to individual, community, and global needs. As we recognize the class of 2013, we reaffirm the importance of this institution's mission and purpose. However, Muskegon Community College Commencement is not only a celebration of your past accomplishments, but as the name Commencement implies, it is also the beginning of a lifelong learning pursuit of your passion. One of the MCC mission statements indicates that MCC is committed to, and I quote, prepare students in critical thinking, communication, long-term learning skills, and changing challenges of the future, end quote. These are exactly the skills that you need to pursue your passion. This goal is not an endpoint, but rather a lifelong journey that at times may bring frustration and disappointment, but with dedication and commitment, it'll bring you great joy. Your plans may morph with increased experience, new opportunities, and changing times, but stay committed to your passion and you will succeed. Let me share a personal story with you. When I was in grade school and preparing to attend high school, I met with my counselor to discuss my plans. I told her that I was going to take a college prep course in high school. She advised me that this was not the best option for me and I should consider a job training course. I told her that I was going to become a doctor, so I really needed to plan at college. When I finished high school, I was accepted to college when I met with my counselor for planning my college curriculum. I told her that I was planning on taking a pre-med curriculum in college. I was advised that I should consider studying math or education. I told her that I was planning on going to medical school and I really needed to go to pre-med courses. I was accepted to the University of Michigan Medical School and I'm currently celebrating my 50th anniversary from graduating from the medical school. I tell you this story to let you know that there will be well-meaning people that will try to dissuade you from your path. My advice, pursue your passion. It is therefore with a sense of special pride that we celebrate and congratulate the class of 2013 for your success in fulfilling your educational goals at MCC and preparing the way for your lifelong learning goals. And I also congratulate and thank all the parents, family members, faculty, staff, and friends who have helped these students along the way. It is your celebration as well. I am now pleased to introduce the 10th President of Muskegon Community College, Dr. Dale K. Nesbury.
Exciting times indeed. I'd like to just take just a moment to note that behind me, not simply in front of me, are many community college graduates. And all of the platform party and many of your faculty have a history of being started at a community college, family members at a community college, and just learning those great things that you all have learned while you have been here at Muskegon Community College. So keep that in mind as you pursue your passion. Now, again, it is my honor and privilege to be before you tonight and to welcome you to our 85th commencement ceremony. It is also with great excitement that I stand before you today. It began here for me at MCC. In fact, my wife Connie, somewhere out there in the crowd, we both met here at the college. But being here today gives me an opportunity to share with you that I'm excited for you because you did it. It was during these times that you demonstrated that you could accomplish whatever you believed that you could. Now again, as Dr. Pandel mentioned, the theme of this commencement celebration is pursue your passion. You are all at a milestone in your lives. You are at a launching pad, or a budding career, additional credentialing, or a transfer to one of our four-year partners. You may strive for a fulfilling life and explore how you may reach the incredible potential that you have. So it is time to celebrate. You might recall at the rehearsal this afternoon, I said, have fun. smile a little bit. I said I'd be a little bit more somber tonight, but I'm not quite sure if that's actually going to happen. But I want you to have a tremendous time tonight and just keep that going as you leave this building and go out into the world and do the things that you are going to do. I mean, you're role models. Because you've graduated from college, research demonstrates that you are much more likely, and your children are much more likely to earn more and to do more in your careers. Now, although you finished what you started here at MCC, you're not done. You're definitely not done. You must continue. Whether you continue your education by completing a degree at a four-year partner or university, earning a job training certificate, or updating your skills here at the college, you must continue what you're doing to continue to be successful. Now, today's commencement is not only a ceremony in which your degrees or diplomas are conferred, but it's also a beginning. We hope to see you back at MCC sometime in the near future. Graduates, we, the Board of Trustees, the faculty, the staff, and all of our honored guests are all here to recognize your accomplishment. Remember that commencement is the beginning of the rest of your life. It may not mean that much to you right now, but believe me, 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, you're going to remember this day as something that you've done, something that 3/4 of the population of the United States has not done. So you should be very proud of yourselves. Now, as for your families, this is their day too, because they've been on this journey with you. They've listened to you, they've worried about you a little bit, and as a parent and a spouse of a college graduate or college graduates, wish they call a little bit more. But participating in tonight's ceremony are the faculty and staff and guests who are honored by your accomplishments. On me are members of the Board of Trustees, our 2 vice presidents, select speakers for tonight's ceremony, and others who are important to you and the ceremony. I'd like to introduce them to you, ask each one to rise and remain standing, and ask for you to greet them with applause after I have finished. Now, you've already met, to my right, Dr. Don Crandall, the chair of the Board of Trustees here at the college. The vice chair of the Board of Trustees and distinguished alumnus is Diana Osborne. Treasurer of the Board of Trustees is Dorothy Lester. Secretary of the Board of Trustees is Nancy Fry. Trustee of the Board of Trustees and chair of the Personnel Committee is Sean Mullally. Trustee of the Board of Trustees is Ann Oakes, and trustee of the Board of Trustees is Roy Portinga. Further, Vice President for Academic Affairs and Finance is Teresa Sturris. Vice President for Student Services and Administration is Dr. John Selman. 2 outstanding student speakers tonight, Robert Boyer and David Langloy. I should also note that as of last year, we only have student speakers. 2 years ago, we were one of 2 colleges to have the governor of the state of Michigan provide a commencement address to that college. One was the University of Michigan, and the other was Muskegon Community College. His first 2 commencement addresses as governor. Now, during that same ceremony, our student speaker had such a compelling story, the governor himself, when he stepped onto the podium, said that, "I think that I cannot match what you just heard." So we made a decision on that day to only have student speakers because of the quality of what we've seen here at the college. So you should be very proud of these young men, as am I. Additionally, we have Mr. Don Bogema, our Master of Ceremonies, Vice President of the MCC Faculty Association, Larry Visconti, and Student Government Association President, Eric Howard, and finally, the Chair of our Alumni Relations Committee, Mr. David Wells. If you would join me in offering a round of applause. We'd also like to take a moment to honor those faculty for whom this will be their very last commencement ceremony. We tried to talk some of them out of it, and they said, "No, we are ready to retire now, but we've loved our time here at the college." Please be seated, folks. Thank you. These individuals are examples of faculty who have shared their knowledge and life for the betterment of generations of students just like you. I would like to introduce them to you now and ask for them to rise and remain standing, and ask you to greet them with your applause after I have finished. First of all, Mr. Dennis Helmus, who began with the college on April 24th of 1996. Ms. Elena Garcia, who began with the college on July 13th, 1998. And Mr. Steve Fiorenzo, who began with the college on July 14th, 1999. Together, they have over 42 years of shared knowledge with the college. Again, please help me offer our congratulations to these outstanding individuals. And next, the Muskegon Community College Faculty Association is an organization that commits itself to improving the academic quality of life for you, our students at MCC. The faculty, as you know, are at the heart of student learning. Mr. Larry Visconti, Vice President of the association, is here tonight and will present the awards that the association provides. Mr. Visconti, would you please step forward?
Good evening and welcome. Graduates, families, friends, and honored guests, on behalf of the Muskegon Community College Faculty Association, congratulations. The Faculty Association annually gives out 2 scholarships, and it is my pleasure to announce those recipients. The Recognition Scholarship this year honors retiring instructor Dennis Helmus. Dennis has served over 15 years on the Muskegon Community College nursing faculty. He has been an active student advocate and for several years was an advisor to the MCC Student Nurse Club. He was a member of the faculty seeking initial national accreditation for our nursing program and was a leader in development of the geriatric and medical surgical curriculum. This year, the Recognition Scholarship is awarded to Paige Vanderjack. Paige was recommended by Kurt Troutman and Richard Alexander. Paige is currently pursuing an associate's degree in social sciences and plans to transfer to Grand Valley State University and major in social work. Eventually, Paige plans to obtain a master's degree. Paige is the first member of her family to attend college. She is eager to help those less fortunate. In particular, Paige is eager to help women and young girls who have experienced domestic violence or sexual assault. Her personal experience has shown her that healing, recovery, and hope are all possible. Her passion is to demonstrate how time, hard work, and compassion can transform victims into not only survivors, but victors. Paige, please come to the stage. This year's Memorial Scholarship is given in memory of our friends and colleagues, George and Nancy Nielsen. George was a physics professor for many years and was known for his quiet yet avid support and leadership at the college. His wife Nancy was an English professor who was known for her active involvement wherever needed, including athletics, as well as singing in the halls. Both George and Nancy possessed good humor, which made them a pleasure to be around. The winner of this year's Memorial Scholarship is Jamie Pava. Jamie was recommended by Susan Zemke and Kathleen Bates. Jamie is graduating this semester with her associate's degree in Science and Arts and Nursing. She is transferring to Ferris State University to obtain her BA degree in nursing. She then plans to obtain a doctorate of nursing practice programs with a specialization in anesthesia. Her ultimate goal is to become a certified registered nurse anesthetist no later than 2020. Jamie has maintained a 3.92 GPA at MCC while serving in the Student Nurse Club spearheading fundraisers and actively recruiting new members. In addition, she is a mature, compassionate, patient advocate. Jamie, please come to the stage.
The Haddon Award is presented by Hackley Hospital and is presented to the two graduates of MCC's nursing program having distinguished themselves. Tonight, this award is presented by Kimberly McGuire, Chief Nursing Officer and Vice President of Patient Care Services at Mercy Health Partners. Ms. McGuire, would you please step forward?
Good evening, and thank you for inviting me to be here for your very special evening tonight. It is a great honor to present to you the Hayden Award recipients from the Summer 2012 and Winter 2013 nursing graduating class. The Hayden Award was established by the Board of Trustees of Hackley Hospital. The intent was to honor not only the memory of Reverend Archibald Hayden, minister of the First Congregational Church of Muskegon and first president of Hackley Hospital Board of Trustees, but also to honor Charles Hackley's intent of establishing and administering care through highly trained and educated nurses. This award was started in 1946, and the tradition has continued through the transition of Hackley School of Nursing to Muskegon Community College, and will continue by Mercy Health Partners to honor not only the legacy of Charles Hackley and the Reverend Hayden, but also Hackley Hospital. The recipients are selected by faculty on the basis of interest in advanced education, scholarship, citizenship, and excellence in bedside nursing. It is with great pleasure that I present to you the Hayden Award recipients for the Summer of 2012 class, Rebecca Blood, and the winner of 2013 class, Jamie Pava. If they could please come to the stage.
Now, Vice President for Student Services and Administration, Dr. John Selman, will represent and introduce our student speakers. Dr. Selman.
Thank you, Dr. Nesbury. I'd like to say congratulations to all of our graduates and wish them well as they close one chapter in their lives and open another. What an exciting time in your lives and the achievement of an important, very, very important milestone. Graduates, I simply say a job well done. And we applaud you for your success. Again, congratulations to all of you, and please, please continue to pursue your passion. Tonight, I have the distinct privilege of introducing two outstanding student speakers who are members of the 2013 graduating class. Both took different routes at very different times in their lives, but nonetheless chose MCC to further their education. They both have distinguished themselves through high expectations, hard work, dedication, and an unwavering commitment to academic excellence. And one of the unique things about my job is that I have an opportunity to visit and talk with the student speakers beyond what you will hear tonight from them. And there's one thing that I can assure you about these speakers. Both are focused on achieving their highest and being their best. Please allow me to refer you to their bios in the program on page 5 for more details about their journey. And at this time, I'd like to welcome our first speaker, David Langlois, to the podium.
Don't blink. Don't even blink. In this rapidly changing world we live in, if we blink for just a moment, we can miss out on a wide variety of experiences that are all around us. The way I see it, since programs at MCC are designed to be 2-year programs, by the time you finish your associate's degree, it will have taken less than 1/10 of your life to achieve it. By the time we retire, that's less than 1/30 of our life spent to get our degree. It goes by in a relative blink of an eye. Many of us will just focus on schoolwork during that time. We'll focus on just getting it done and getting through college. When we look back at this time of our life, we may only remember getting the degree. We'll find that we blinked and the time went by much too quickly. Unfortunately, that's how you miss out on some of the greatest aspects of MCC. The ability to experience a diverse selection of courses at a low cost, and the opportunity to take a chance on a class that may seem interesting but doesn't necessarily fit into your program. For me, that's what has made all the difference. When I enrolled at MCC for the first time in the fall of 2009, I hadn't really decided what I wanted to be when I grew up, so I enrolled as a music major. I figured that since I'd been in choir my whole life, and then state honors and all state honors choir, it was a natural next step. However, when I started studying music, I began to realize that perhaps it wasn't my calling. It wasn't that I wasn't a good musician, but rather I wasn't as passionate as I felt I had to be in order to make music my first career. What seemed like the natural choice wasn't the right choice. So I made it through the first year and then withdrew from the program. After that, I began coasting through college on gen ed credits. My first semester was strictly gen ed. I didn't engage myself in any of my courses, and I really didn't decide what I wanted to do long term. Enrolled in my 4th semester, I realized I was 1 English class away from graduating. As you can imagine, I was slightly panicked at the thought of graduating when I hadn't even decided on a major. I started the semester cautiously, but when I got to my Friday morning class, a CIS 120 class taught by Jim Landis, Jim Landis quickly became a role model for me. He taught me new ways of thinking and taught me about new technologies. By the midterm, I knew that this was what I wanted to do with my life. So by this point, I was faced with a tough decision. I had found my passion, but I was just about to graduate. I was forced to choose, graduate on time, or pursue a degree in a field that really intrigued me, that I was passionate about. That's when I decided to pursue my passion. The next fall, I took on 17 credits of CIS courses, ranging from game scripting to mid-range programming to networking to beyond. Within the first week, each of my professors had called me crazy for taking so many classes of something I had never even heard of before. But I loved it. Since then, over the course of the past 2 years, I've grown to know and respect these professors as individuals, but also as friends and mentors. I could never fully describe all they've done for me, but I'd like to briefly recognize them. First is Jim Landis, who not only launched me into the field of computer science, but also taught me valuable lessons about problem solving and creativity, and also leadership. Shar Parker, CIS coordinator, deserves much of my respect and a lot of deep gratitude for the many long road trips to conferences and the even longer hours of conversation just sitting in her office. In fact, because of her, my career began much sooner than I could have even hoped. I'd also like to thank John Johnson for his willingness to always challenge me. More than most, he's been a force of driving me to the next level of my achievement. I'd also like to thank Greg Miller, the networking professor, who was consistently determined to make his students succeed, and it paid off, at least for me. Although him and I poke fun at each other, he's one of the kindest men you'll ever meet. Finally, I'd like to thank Dave Stradell, who pushed me into the elevator pitch competition, Christopher Van Oosterhout, who has always been encouraging and willing to lend me resources, and Irene Church, who has always been uplifting and helpful, even though I've never even taken one of her classes. Because I followed my passion, and I immersed myself into the whole new world of technology, I have thrived both in my career and in my life. I am truly blessed to do what I love. I have worked for 4 technology companies, including MCC's Office of Information Technology, which afforded me one of my most beneficial experiences to date. I have proven that by pursuing your passion, you can revolutionize your life. And this is not just true for me, but it can be for you, too, as you go into a larger world, maybe at a new university, maybe in a new career. No matter where you go, you can and you should seek out what you are passionate about. So, my fellow students, graduates, and all of my fellow people, I beseech you to find what you love to do. Find your passion and pursue it. Life is only a short time, but, to quote Abraham Lincoln, in the end, it's not the years in a life. It's your life in those years. With that in mind, explore your opportunities. Do what you love, and love what you do. Experience life to live fully, and most importantly, don't blink.
Thank you, David. Continue to pursue your passion. Please welcome our second speaker, Robert Boyer, to the podium, please.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As introduced, my name is Robert Boyer. I'm honored to be graduating from Muskegon Community College with my associate's degree. Next fall, I'll be attending Grand Valley and enrolling in the Reserve Officer Training Corps program, also known as ROTC. There, I'll continue pursuing my degree in history. When I graduate, I'll be commissioned as an officer in the United States Army and continue to serve alongside some of the most amazing, craziest men that I've ever had the privilege of meeting. I have to admit that when I first heard I was nominated to be speaking at graduation, I was more than a little surprised. I would envision the graduate speaker to have straight A's and a long list of academic accomplishments. I, on the other hand, have always been a student that has struggled academically. When I was younger, I struggled daily in school and felt very defeated. Matter of fact, my 6th grade teacher told my parents at conferences that I'd amount to nothing but a kid pumping gas for the rest of my life. Although those words hurt me, I will never let them define me. I'm very proud to have made the dean's list a few times. I will never forget getting those letters in the mail and putting them on the fridge next to my kids' elementary artwork. Most of the grades I've earned were A's, but there were a few C's too, and subjects that were very difficult for me, such as math and philosophy. These classes were very challenging, but taught me about perseverance. I was just as proud, if not more proud, of my C's because I had worked so hard to earn that grade, but I did it. I wouldn't be standing here today if it weren't for the many wonderful, amazing people who've given me love, support, and countless hours of tutoring. My mom and dad for always believing in me, always standing up for me, and always being here for me. My beautiful wife, Dana, thank you for your love and support and for putting up with me for over 11 years, as well as giving me 2 wonderful children. Thanks for pushing me to take the first history class with you. You are truly an amazing woman. I love you. I would also like to thank all my professors that I've had over the past few years, especially Mr. Ike, Mr. Maniotis, and Mr. Troutman, for being such great professors. I'm privileged to have mentors like you that are bigger history geeks than I am. Pursuing my passion is the theme of my speech tonight, and if you ask anyone who knows me, they'll tell you that my #1 passion is talking. I want everyone to know that my faith, family, the Army, and history, especially Civil War history, are what I'm truly passionate about. MCC's taught me a lot about myself and many other things, but history is what I love the most. If it wasn't for that first Gettysburg class, I would have never found my biggest passion in life. Walking the field at Gettysburg gave me new eyes to understand the great history of our nation. While in this class, I was asked to choose a topic for research, and like most college students, I found myself Googling the subject. Under Gettysburg officers, my obvious first pick was this man with an incredible, unmistakable mustache. In my house, you will find 6 paintings of this man, a bobblehead doll, a 6-pack of beer that's named after him, a tattoo of one of his quotes on my right arm. Some people tease me by saying that I've developed somewhat of a man crush. They say man crush, I say hero. The cool man with a mustache that I speak of is none other than Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain. Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain is a Congressional Medal of Honor recipient from his heroic actions at Gettysburg at Little Round Top. Chamberlain was a man of God and an amazing leader to his men. His mission and his men were his passion. He accomplished many things too numerous to list in 5 minutes, and I would love to tell you all about it, but we all have time hacks we have to meet. Chamberlain is a man that has inspired the way that I live and the way that I lead. I truly believe that success comes from who we let inspire our journey and our passion in life. Besides my love for history, MCC's taken me on many other great journeys. I've ballroom danced, watched Urinetown the musical, collected water samples to examine from the watershed. I've learned I don't like truth functional logic because it's just like math, and math and I don't get along. I've given speeches from how to cook breakfast to none other than Joshua Chamberlain. I learned that General Longstreet's not to blame for the loss of the Civil War, and that I would march with General William Tecumseh Sherman any day. Michigan's the greatest state in the Union, and made and continues to make the greatest American muscle car in U.S. history. By greatest, I'm referring to the Ford Mustang, of course. I've made a lot of friends along the way, learned about so many things, and gone through an amazing journey. That is only the beginning of my story. I am proud to say that MCC's given me an opportunity to be someone that I never thought I could be, and someone that most people thought I could never be, a college graduate. No speech of mine would be complete without a quote from Joshua Chamberlain. This quote reflects the many people who've helped me over the years to be able to cross this stage today. Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain spoke these very words at the main monument dedication speech at Gettysburg on October 3rd, 1889. The inspiration of a noble cause involving human interest wide and far enables men to do things they did not dream themselves capable of before, and which they were not capable of alone. The conciseness of belonging vitally to something beyond individuality, of being part of personality that reaches we know not where in space and time, greatens the heart to the limits of the soul's ideal and builds out the supreme of character. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your time. Have an outstanding night.
I think you can see what I meant when I said we now use student speakers rather than guest speakers. College changes lives. Now at this time, I'd like to turn the program over to the MCC College Singers and the Wind Ensemble, who will present the fine music they prepared for this event, America the Beautiful. Folks, you should also be aware that ordinarily the West Michigan Concert Winds, which is actually an MCC ensemble, is with us, and they help our students perform. This, I believe, is the first time in probably 25 or 30 years that we have an entirely student-only ensemble in terms of our instrumental music program. So this is quite a night for our group. Also, with Tom Clark leading the MCC singers, it's also a pretty incredible job that that particular faculty member has done as well. It's important to me, and I think that you will see over time that these groups have, they're part of what college is as well. They're led by and guided by the faculty. The names that you heard from our student speakers, the names that you read in the programs, they all come back to who gave us, who gave me personally, the ability to move forward. So thank you, folks, for what you do. Now to the graduates. Now that you've completed your studies at MCC, you are becoming alumnus of the college itself. Now, we do plan to stay in contact with you, and we do that through our Alumni Relations Committee. It is chaired by Chair President David Wells, who is also a distinguished alum himself from 2011, I believe, barrister. So it is with my pleasure to ask Mr. Wells to step forward. David?
Thank you, Dr. Nesberry. Graduates, as the chairperson of the Alumni Relations Committee, I want to be the very first person to officially welcome all of you as members of the Muskegon Community College Alumni Association. And the highest award granted to alumni of Muskegon Community College is the Distinguished Alumni Award. This year's recipient, Diana Osborne, earned her associate's degree from Muskegon Community College 40 years ago this year. She later earned a bachelor's degree from Grand Valley State University in Business Administration, and then a master's degree in administration from Central Michigan University. Ms. Osborne's entire career has been dedicated to Muskegon Community College. While attending classes here, she worked as a student assistant. After graduation, she obtained a secretarial job at MCC and then entered into administration. Later, she became director of the personnel department, then executive assistant to the president, executive vice president of administration, and twice she held the position of interim president. She has served several professional and community organizations, including the Board of Directors for Goodwill Industries, the Michigan Public School Employees Retirement Board, the MCC Board of Trustees, and is currently the chairperson of the Foundation for Muskegon Community College. Ms. Osborne has received numerous awards and recognition throughout her career, including the RPCIMS Intercultural Awareness Award, the Excellence in Leadership Award from the Liberal Arts Network for Development, and the Harold J. Workman Award for enhancing creativity in labor negotiations. I am extremely pleased to present to you the 2013 Muskegon Community College Distinguished Alumnus, Diana Osborne.
Thank you, David. That was wonderful words, and I'm so happy to be here this evening, and I want to say good evening and congratulations to all of you. I wanted to be on first because next year they probably will have a student doing this, a regular student. They were excellent, and it's a hard act to follow. But I just want to say, OMG, I am so humbled to be standing here before you this evening, but also very excited to be able to tell you that there is life after all of this. As Mr. Wells pointed out in his introduction, I was indeed in your shoes 40 years ago as a graduate of MCC. As I share my experiences with you, I'm going to start out with a favorite quotation of mine from Ecclesiastes, which goes like this: I have seen something else under the sun. The race is not to the swift, or the battle to the strong, nor food come to the wise, or wealth to the brilliant, or favor to the learned, but time and chance happen to them all. And that is exactly what Muskegon Community College did for me. It gave me the time, and it gave me the chance. Perhaps overall, my story is not terribly remarkable, but do believe it encapsulates. It epitomizes the mission and the purpose of the college. You might say it's the perfect product. Never a traditional student, I had to work full-time and raise my family while taking classes. It took me almost 8 years to get in the first 2. Perhaps this was some sort of a record, and David, it seemed like a really long blink. Being a first-generation college student, mistakes were made and setbacks happened, but I am totally convinced that I would not be standing here today without MCC. Attending Muskegon Community College allowed me to pursue my passion of education, career, and family, which led me full circle from student to employee to advocate and now a trustee. In the past, some of you may have heard of the college being affectionately referred to as the Eagles Hotel California. As the song says, you can check out anytime you like, but you can't ever leave. And that is true for you now, as you are a permanent part of Muskegon Community College. And so I say to you as new alum, come back. Come back and take that class you never had time to take just for the fun of it. Come back and retrain, refresh, renew. Come back and absorb the culture, take in a play, a concert, an art exhibit. Come back and take in an athletic event, go Jayhawks. Come back and take in the beauty surrounding the campus, the natural area, the environment, the golf course. Come back and use the community resources, the library, the Information Technology Center. Come back and take courses at the Higher Education Center and obtain a higher degree. Come back and attend a conference, a lecture series, Mayfest, Reunion Fest. Go to the planetarium. Come back and celebrate the college's rich tradition and history. Just simply come back. Upon accepting this distinguished award, there are many people I need to thank, starting with my family who have always put up with me through it all. I love you guys. Thank you to the Alumni Relations Committee who brought me to the head of the class. There are many great nominees, and I want to congratulate them all. Thank you to my instructors who taught me that no one can ever take your education or what you have learned away from you, and that you need to learn even the most ridiculous things, as you never know when you might end up using that bit of information, of knowledge at the oddest times in the most unusual places or circumstances. Thank you to my past coworkers and colleagues who taught me and helped me through all of life's lessons, even though sometimes it felt like the good, the bad, and the ugly. Thank you to my fellow trustees who have given me a new perspective. An old dog can learn new tricks. And thank you for sharing this experience with me. As I finish my remarks, I want to leave you with this thought, and I know that you've heard it several times this evening already, but it's true. Commencement is just the beginning. Pursuit of your passion and learning are lifelong, which leads me to a quote from a very famous doctor, Seuss by name, who said, "Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened." And from his book, Oh, the Places You Will Go, you're off to great places, today is your day, your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. Congratulations, thank you, peace.
Thank you, Trustee Osborne. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for. The presentation of the class of 2013 and the awarding of the degrees. Will the faculty, counselors, librarians, and administrative staff please rise? Will the graduates of the class of 2013 who are to receive their associate degrees and certificates please rise? Chair Crandall, the faculty of Muskegon Community College has recommended that the students who now stand before you and those whose names appear in the commencement program be awarded the associate degree or diploma according to and on the condition of having completed their specific course requirements. As president of this institution, it is my extreme pleasure to present these students to you for the conferring of degrees.
Through the power vested in the Board of Trustees of Muskegon Community College, I hereby confer upon those candidates who have completed their requirements the degrees and certificates listed in your program tonight with all the attendant rights, privileges, responsibilities, and honors. Congratulations.
Thank you, Chair Crandall. Congratulations to you, the class of 2013. It is now my pleasure to introduce Vice President of Academic Affairs and Finance, Teresa Stiris, who will read the names of the class of 2013. And it is my pleasure to introduce Director of Nursing, Pam Brown, who will pin the nursing graduates of the class of 2013.
Robert David Boyer. David Langlois. Christopher Mitchell Van Oosterhout, with honors. Jamie L. Paiva, with honors. Stephen E. Adams. Erica Alvarado. Kathleen Marie Ambrose. Brandy L. Anderson. Jessica Anderson. Sakari Aubrey Sr. Tyler Aviano. Sonny Barnes. Rebecca Barnhard. Christine Barrett. Megan N. Beal. Amy Becklin, with honors. Amanda K. Berge. Nicole Bordeaux. Leah Blair Bound. Samantha Lynn Breeza, with honors. Bridget Lou Brisbane. John Broadbent Jr. with honors. Megan Marie Brooks. Rebecca Brower. Christopher T. Brown. Cindy L. Brown with honors. Marcy Sue Bunting with honors. Bridget Danielle Burks. Rafael Cabrera. Ariel Kamen. James Carey with honors. Antonio Chapman. Joseph Sherwinski. Deanna Marie Colbert. Hunter D. Colella. Joseph L. Corning. Elizabeth Cortines Cortez. Tara Jo Cribley. Michael A. Crosby. Connie J. Cuddington. Rebecca Lee Dark. Yuvia Elerzalde Diaz with honors. Joseph J. Daberstein. Joshua J. Daberstein. Ashley Eldridge. Tamar Erickson with honors. Melody Irma Tinger. Mark E. Ferguson with honors. Victoria E. Fillmore. Angelica Lynn Fry. Latasha Moses Frierson. Krista Gowron. Alexandria Marie Gensler. Catherine Gibson. Sharon N. Gifford. Julie R. Gilbert. Tamika M. Glover. Tabitha Glenn. Janessa M. Gomez. Pamela Sue Grams. Amanda L. Green. Melanie Ann Geikema with honors. Felipe Jiho with honors. Heather Halter. Elizabeth Ann Hansen. Jamie M. Heberly. Lauren Hewer. James E. Hilliard with honors. Ebony M. Hobson. Crystal Hoffman. Craig William Hogat, Jr. Jamie Holmes. Anna Holzinger with honors. Kara Homley. James Hopkins. Sarah May Hosta. Justin L. Howe. Sylvia Huerta. Michelle M. Irwin. Judith Jozic with honors. Mary Jenkins. Claire A. Johnson. Kaylee Jones. Joshua L. Jordan. Nicholas Jorgensen. Andrea R. Cantola with honors. Tyler Keach. Gina Keylor. Joshua Anthony Kell. Michael Aaron Kessler. Ronald E. Kidd Sr. Anthony Keel with honors. Tiffany Kolakowski with honors. Wendy Renee Copps with honors. Jedediah F. Kipfer. Nicole Catherine Lamb with honors. Alexis A. Larrabee with honors. Kurt Lemke. Lindsay M. Leonard. Takia M. Longmire with honors. Bonnie K. Lowndes. Tammy Lloyd. Tracy Luzader. Mallory Kate Lynn with honors. Elspeth Mager. Kristen A. Mayhall. Tracy R. Marshall. Nissa J. Martino. Antonio Henderson McDaniel. Leah McDonald. Terry Lynn McPheron with honors. Mary Jo Moore. Natalie V. Moore. Emily A. Miller. Michael V. Munson with honors. Melody Ray Murphy with honors, 4.0 GPA. Clayton Bean Neer. Roxana Nelson. Murdy Nielsen. Jerome Novotny. Michelle R. O'Brien. Amber L. Ogborn. Alicia Mahia Ortiz. Jacqueline Owens. Kimberly K. Page with honors. Maria Annette Peterson with honors. Amanda Phillips. Rachel Plunkett. Christina K. Pollock. Ashley Elizabeth Joan Powell. Jennifer L. Pruitt. Lakeisha Renee Raymond. Jill S. Reed. Ashley Marie Richards. Morgan Brittany Riley. Jennifer Marie Robeck. Christopher Ross. Olivia Rutkowski. Bradley Sale. Memphis Sandoval. Taylor Renee Sinicki. Deanna Stickler Gatson with honors. Michelle Scamhorn. Nicole Schmuck. Lauren Marie Scudderman with honors. Jean J. Schuler with honors. Molly Joy Seaver with honors. Cassandra J. Seacrest. Michelle Schaefer with honors. Danelle K. Shaw. Jessica L. Shull with honors. Danielle E. Siegel. Timothy D. Smith. Mary Soldano. Doreen Renee Spencer with honors. Caitlin N. Squires. Stacy Steele. J. Nicholas Steffen Sr. with honors. Valerie R. Stein. Brian Stevens. Scott M. Stewart. Julie Sullivan with honors. David E. Taylor. Roger Taylor. Angela Tonelli with honors. Brandy Leanne Tucker. Nathan Vanderveen. Jesse Van Dunkler. Amanda L. Vaughn. Desiree Wadsworth with honors, 4.0 GPA. Nicole Walsworth. Therese L. Williams. Vivian Annette Williams with honors. Kaylee Jo Wolf with honors. Autumn Wright. Sarah Caitlin Yost. Andrew John Zagar. Jesse Jo Zorens. Erin Madeline Mickelson. Edward Sanders Jr. Andrew Rocco Stewart. Kayla Anderson. Crystal Garcia. Landon Washington.
Graduates, please stand. In recognition of your status as college graduates, please now change the placements of your tassel from the right side of your graduation hat to the left side. Graduates, this auditorium is filled with people who are here to celebrate your accomplishments, earned by you individually, belonging to you, and they are as proud of you as you are of them. I express my personal congratulations, and I ask each of you to turn and face the audience. Board members, faculty and staff, spouses, family and friends, I present to you the class of 2013 Muskegon Community College.
Congratulations. Following the recessional, all are invited to celebrate the accomplishments of our graduates with light refreshments served at the end of the arena. On behalf of Muskegon Community College and our graduates, thank you for joining us for the 2013 commencement ceremony. At this time, I ask you to please stand and join in the singing of the MCC alma mater. You will find the words on the back cover of your program inside.